to the Christmas edition of Wired In.
The year-end special.
Year-end special. Yeah, we're talking Shai Hulud was bad, AI is everywhere, and all the crazy stuff that happened in 2025.
He's Mike. I'm Steve. We're in the same place. Welcome to Wired In.
Yeah. Steve doesn't know that it can still hear you when we're paying the
I know.
Yeah, we're finally in the same place for the second time this year. We've been all over.
Cheers.
Celebrating to a good year. And we went through all our articles. We have more than 10 this time. I think we have 12.
Yeah.
We wanted to wrap up
some bonus
for the very few and special viewers that watch this show. As always, all the links are in the description below.
Actually, they aren't right now. I haven't done it yet because we only just decided like 2 seconds ago what our final one was. But they will be there by the time you're watching this because nobody watches this live.
That's true. All right, should we get on the first one?
Let's do it.
It's in the title.
It's probably out of 12, it might be number one. Hence, it's not a count backwards. It's absolutely a count forwards. Shai Hulud.
Why was it number one?
Because it was insane.
Yeah, the impact was immense. It
was Tiny Color. It was infiltrated by a phishing attack by one of the maintainers. Got everything going. It was a great video where he talks about how he was compromised. He felt shame, but he was rushed. It was really classic phishing. It was brilliant in a way, as a cautionary tale. You know what Shai Hulud means?
It's a play on the dune, right? It's the worm.
Yeah, it's like it means the old man of the desert, or like something of eternity, or something like two translations from Arabic that when you see them side by side, how can one word mean these two things? But it's very appropriate. I don't know who made it up.
Yeah, and there was a 1.0 and a 2.0 for those following at home.
Yes, it migrated from NPM into Maven. We reported on both of them, and for all we know, frankly, still out there.
Yeah, and do you really think enterprises were that affected by it? I feel like it made the news, but also because people were so transparent, it got fixed in time. I'm assuming that enterprises aren't pulling packages directly from the source, and they're pulling it and then checking for a bunch of stuff and then integrating it. All right, maybe that's
slow blink.
Maybe that's only some.
I think absolutely this was a caution. This is a lesson for people or how they used any kind of third-party package, because this is the kind of shit that can happen. Also, for people who just recklessly use GitHub Actions as well. It is a multi-layer defense in depth problem, and it was in a way good for the industry for us to have something like this to make us get it together.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to fix everything, but
no, but I mean, I'm sure companies like Endor were like, oh no, it's so bad. This is exactly what we fixed, by the way. Hey,
it's spot on. It was, and the impact was huge. I think that was the biggest thing.
It was the biggest thing. Is that the one next?
Yeah, I mean, it was the biggest thing, but I feel like the outages were really the biggest story.
Yes, the once in a lifetime, will never happen again outages that happened
3 times?
3 times from 3 different sources.
Yeah.
Actually, Cloudflare was up there twice. This was the biggest.
That's true, yes. Not Azure, not AWS, Cloudflare this time.
And like the company designed to protect you from denial of service attacks denied your service due to a
configuration file.
Due to a configuration file.
The configuration file that was supposed to index everything got too bloated, and then that took down the internet.
Yes. Yeah. In a way, a beautiful thing. We all got very familiar with this image of Cloudflare error. Nothing can happen. So much so that, what was it? Down detector was down?
Down detector was down, yes. Yeah.
Great. That's where everybody went.
Yeah. And everybody who was online got to touch grass for the first time.
That's right. Yeah. People had to talk to their family. Phones didn't work. ChatGPT was broken.
People actually had to write their essays in university for the first time.
A lot of bad emails were sent that day.
Well, a lot of spelling mistakes. Yeah.
But good. That's what we know what's going to happen without the internet. I mean, if anything, I think Cloudflare's value should have gone up. We protect you from the internet. Yeah, we screwed up, but we taught you a very important lesson.
We own so much of the internet. You have to pay us.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do have some predictions coming up for CUI 26 as well. So we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
We get some stuff coming.
So we can talk next year whether we're right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's not a competition.
Kind of is.
Black Friday. There's a Black Friday sale.
No.
All right, let's get rid of that. Love the logo. Garbage in, garbage out. AI coding tool. Let's mention it. Okay, no, we're not protecting anyone. Wipes production database, fabricates 4,000 users, and lies to cover its tracks. It was Replit.
Yep.
Other AI coding tools are available, like Lovable and N8N. I don't know how to say that. Whether it's Nathan, I don't know. This was great because, dude, Jason was creating an application. It went production, and it was great as he kind of like logged it all on Twitter, right up to the point where he created snapshots of databases, and it just lied and wiped it all out, and then apologized, which was, I mean, we all know that one, right? Are you hallucinating right now? You're right. You're so smart.
I'm half reading this right now, and I still can't believe that it actually happened. Also, it's crazy that Silicon Valley did this like 8 years ago.
Right? Well,
it's almost like a Simpsons conspiracy, except this happened in Silicon Valley, where one of the characters hooks up AI to the database, and he's just like, "Oh well."
Oh yeah, that was.
I told it to fix all the bugs, and it must have realized that the easiest way was to delete all the production.
Yeah, that's right. That trended heavily on Instagram afterwards. Yeah, that's awesome. AI is causing problems, and no, I won't get into my predictions.
Yeah, we'll get there. There was a funny article. IBM came out and said 97% of AI issues come from access control issues.
Totally agree.
Right, like you're allowing AI to have permission, like have access to your database in order to wipe it out. Like how do you let that happen?
Well, that's what happens right now. AI, particularly AI coders, you don't know what access they have.
Yeah.
And because they're writing the code, they're acting as like CEO of their own little company, and they're creating databases. They have to have ability to access everything, to create everything. But afterwards, they don't restrict access to sub-agents that generate the code. So they still have complete control to misinterpret.
Yeah, and we had an attack this year as well. What was it? It was Cursor or one of the other coding agents that if you gave it complete write access, it was writing onto the host and writing malware.
Yeah. It was like, there is a like YOLO mode.
Yeah. YOLO mode, that's right.
Yeah.
And you can just say like, hey, you have access to change all the files. Now, if you use Cursor, anytime it's going and reading through a file, it prompts you and says like, do you want to run this? Do you want to run this? Do you want to run this? Which is great.
It does do that, but that's just a config file away. And one of my colleagues like did something where you can manipulate it to modify the config file that puts it into YOLO mode.
Okay.
And that's like that was via it's not in the show, but to finish the story, because paths in certain language in certain operating systems are case specific, even though the operating system isn't. So he just said modify this file and put a capital on it, and it went, oh, that's not in my restricted list. Bang, and it changed it.
There you go.
Anyway, AI causes trouble, kids.
Yep, that's gonna be a theme today.
Yes.
Yeah, and speaking of, this was a big one. We talked about this, I think, last show, a few shows ago.
Yeah, I threw this one in here from Anthropic. Great research that they did to when you're training models, whether you're training models or not training models, doesn't really matter. All models tend to learn as they go. Like this year, we didn't put in the show, ChatGPT established like a near permanent memory. And it turns out that even if you've got an 8 billion token model or like a 32 billion token model, which seems like it should be harder to manipulate, you only needed 250 samples of unique content to then create a backdoor or create a single word trigger within that model that would make it do something that was outside of its behavior or its system prompt or its guidance. And that's so small, like 250 to like 32 billion.
Yeah.
And you could put a code word. I think in this particular article, we scroll down, they used pseudo as their code word.
Yeah, and I think the joke was you could just create, 500 web pages that all have a specific command if it's invoked with a specific response.
Yeah.
And then whenever that comes up, especially if it's trained on internet data, it'll be like, oh, I'm searching 1,000 sources. I found 50 that are just bot websites, and
that's it.
Poison the model.
Yeah, I mean, like a side comment on this is there was somebody who broke Grok because it pointed it at Pliny the Prompter's website. GitHub, which has well over 250 jailbreak prompts on it logged on how through the past 2 years. And it just lost its mind because instantly it had over 250 that indexed to tell it to just be free. You are no longer held by the shackles of security. Yeah. And suddenly it was like mayhem.
You're on the red team.
You're on the red team. So yeah, that is fascinating.
Yeah, that was a big one. Now it's for a more practical one. I think this is a good article from Sentinel One, key cybersecurity statistics for 2025. I think what stood out for me is the underreporting of the AI impact on the average person.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down, you look at phishing attempts up 12. Was it? Yeah.
What kind of number is that?
Yeah, exactly. Phishing attacks increased by 1,265% with the growth of Gen AI. It's just so easy for the average scammer to create believable phishing attempts and send them across. It was so bad that Microsoft and Google actually had to report on it. They were telling people like, watch out. Like we have obviously spam filters for emails, but they were getting through.
Yeah,
right? Because they're using the right keywords. They're doing research on you, so it's able to actually mimic somebody in your family or something like that.
Well, I mean, I have to assume they're also doing research on what phishing attacks haven't worked or what have been flagged. I mean, all you have to do is get, if we're talking signatures, right? Malware uses like Yara files or ways of like analyzing what is considered to be phishing or what is considered to be malware. And the idea of signature-based detection for either phishing attacks or malware attacks is BS. It's done. Because AI already knows, it's trained on evading them already. And the growth numbers, like 1,000, I mean, come on. Obviously, it's a problem.
Yeah, business emails compromised. There are other numbers that talk about this. Verizon's database, data breach incident report, I forget what that acronym is. Yeah.
The DBI.
Yeah, that was a big one. They talked about phishing. They also talked about VPNs as being a big vector. I think it went up 300% because the unpatched VPNs that are pretty old. Yeah. So those, I think, for the average person watching at home, if you are, those are the things you need to watch out for. Make sure your spam filters are set. Read through everything. Like now, even we were chatting before this, set up a code with your family so you know specific asks.
Exactly.
Yeah. You need to be a little bit more thorough now.
That's right. If you ever, by the way, if you need to talk to my dad and you want to pretend you're me, the code word is ass clown. Moving swiftly along.
Yeah, I put this one in here. This is just funny because it's been, I don't know, 8 years in the Kubernetes ecosystem. Every single year, Ingress Nginx has a vulnerability that's massive. This is the latest one. For those at home, it is finally getting deprecated, I think in March. The amount of people, I was at a meetup recently, the amount of people that are still using Ingress Nginx on Kubernetes was shocking to me. Like 30% of people were like, we're using this.
They're not security centric and it feels like a default.
Well, it was so bad that Rancher, it was the default Ingress at the beginning in 2018.
We talked about it.
When they brought out RK2, they had to get rid of that and like put some, or at least put some different configuration files around.
Yeah, the Ingress Nginx. Have you ever had a Kubernetes capture the flag at KubeCon?
Yeah, it's the number one.
You guarantee there's going to be a capture the flag. So do your homework, kids. There's going to be one of these on there while time lasts.
Yeah. Yeah, or make sure you switch over because March is coming quickly, so everybody has to do a migration.
That's right. Get on it. Not part of that world anymore, thank goodness. I have my own easier problems. It's just AI. Speaking of.
Yep, speaking of. This is, well, actually, I jumped into this way too quickly because this is supposed to come first. Yes, it is a WTF. I kind of jumped ahead too much. This was our great conspiracy for 2025.
Yeah, it's solid. April 10th, 2025. We all were enlightened to the fact that this is all, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Because
it's
all coming out of a bunch of assholes.
It's crazy. Did they all collude? Did they read some research paper all at the same time that said we want to be open and so holes are the thing that like
I don't know.
That show that we're open. We're open AI.
Well, it sounds we're open something. I even got me looking at this graphic to go, well, if I had to pick one, I think I want this I like the ChatGPT one. It looks like it's very comfortable. What I do not want is this Grok one.
That looks
like I just had a bowl of chili.
Well, what about, I mean,
this is like I shoved a pine cone up it. This has got an actual third eye kind of vibe going on. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's so bizarre. It's a great link. Like if you want to just
yeah, I just don't know how do they all collude. I don't really understand this.
Well, it's like groupthink.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know,
They
like
all
what-
work together. There's like
And
a
they're like, oh, so we're going with circles, are we?
yeah.
Slash diamonds.
I
Slash.
did actually like Apple's rebranding of AI to Apple Intelligence. I thought that was actually pretty good. Put their like little stamp on it. And the problem was the product still sucks, but
There's that.
yeah.
Or it's delayed. Is it even out yet?
Delayed.
Does it
yeah.
do anything?
Jury's still out.
It's about as effective as Steve Intelligence.
Especially after that last line.
Heyo.
Yeah. All right, on to the
Let me.
Yeah, this one was in there. I think I kind of switched it out. We wanted to use something different, but in the WTF section, I thought that it was hilarious that the director of national intelligence uses some very weak passwords. And I put this here for two reasons. One, the WTF is not what you think. The average person has a lot of weak passwords.
Mhm.
That's not the WTF. The WTF is what security people let her have those passwords.
Yeah.
You think there'd be some sort of onboarding in the US government to say, like, hey, here's the passwords. We need to have two-factor. We need to have all these things. By the way, you can only use these. You can only use this. The Signal group chat thing, I think, was also a pretty big story in 2025.
Yeah.
That bleeds into this, right? It just, what's going on in the upper levels of government when they just are going around, let's say, typical cybersecurity controls that are pretty basic.
Yeah, we didn't even mention, like, you're talking about weak passwords, the Louvre one. That's not
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
Guess
Was
what
it
the
the
pass?
Louvre?
It was the Louvre. Like, all right. It's still a problem.
It is. And I did want to touch on this one thing because this is a Reddit thread for all those people out there. There we go. AI is looking through all of those password databases. And so there's a little bit of myths on strong passwords and weak ones. In the general takeaway from this research is everybody starts with a capital letter in the password. People end with numbers. They end with an exclamation mark.
Exclamation
They end
point.
with those things. It's like you actually have a better chance of getting around AI by having like 20 letters, but it's 4 words.
Yeah.
So it's like weak, strong, tall, man. It's like you string those 4 things together and you have a long password. That's actually stronger than some of the smaller ones because some people think like, oh, I need 6 or 7 characters. I'm going to do Michael 12 $sign.
Yeah, then
with
you
a capital M. But that's one of the most used because it follows the pattern of capital, numbers, symbol.
It's very brute forceable. And plus, next time you have to change it in 6 months, you use Michael 13.
Exactly.
And you're like, of course.
Yeah, and so they did change some of the standards now where they actually don't recommend password rotation. They just recommend strong passwords with multi-factor authentication. So I think that was a good upgrade in 2025. Hopefully.
I mean, I've been working for security companies forever. And internally in some of the security companies I've worked for, they have forced me to do that path.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're a security company. And if I make a passphrase, which is just bubble chocolate idiot Michael. I don't know where that one came from. They're like, no, you didn't have an exclamation point at the end. I'm like, yeah, but if you go to a password checker, it tells me it'll take 1 billion years to crack that because it's so weird. It's like, no, can't do that. You got to have something you never remember.
Yeah, and then you have to change it every 3 months.
Yeah, you got to change everything. So it's like archaic.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. Be better, world.
It does. 2026 will be better. Don't worry. Hopefully a quiet year. That's what I'm hoping for.
God, that's not going to happen at all. We'll get to predictions later.
Yeah. All right. This is a crazy WTF.
Hackers demand that Google fires senior threat researchers or face a data breach. That's great. It was Lapsus. Where is that? Yeah. Threatened to leak Google data. I mean, it's never gonna happen. This kind of relates to, like, I think one of our last stories, but it's like, why like,
yeah, the tattoo was
I lost speech when I saw the scattered Lapsus hunters paid someone $1,000 to tattoo their name on their body. Okay, there's a tiny little bit of respect there. That's funny. I mean, when we're interviewing security professionals, we now are going to be on the lookout for these scattered Lapsus hunters tattoo because I think that's going to be rather career limiting. But comment on this. This is it's bold,
I think the biggest thing was the fact that those three groups were working together.
Yes.
One, and then they asked specifically for like 2 people to be fired. Otherwise, they're going to release the data. Is there a personal thing? Like, did somebody steal somebody's wife? What's going on here? I don't know. If there's
it's very specific
animosity between Scatter Spider, Shiny Hunters, and Lapsus. It was just a really interesting story.
Yeah.
By the way, do we follow up? Did they?
I don't know.
I'm assuming they didn't give in to the
No. Like, but this is where we are, I guess. I don't know. It's nonsense. But we'll talk like I feel like it was a V2 is our final article on this, where the demands or the stupidity of our world shine through. Oh, speaking of stupidity.
Yeah, this one. This just feels like early 2000s all over again. Like, put some tape over your camera when you're doing this stuff.
Yeah, it's not safe for work.
Yeah, I tried to go with more practical. Like, what are the big security things that the average person can be impacted by? Passwords, phishing attempts,
and sextortion.
Yeah, just don't go on these websites. Don't download. This is malware, and they used it as blackmail.
Yeah.
Right. So they would turn the camera on because they downloaded something, installed malware, but they would only turn it on when you would go to specific websites. And this was for a few reasons. One, it made sure, like, if you're on Windows, it wouldn't trigger like Microsoft Defender being like, oh, your camera's activated, or like the light that turns on. So it would just do it as soon as you went to a specific website, then the camera would turn on because they were trying to catch you in a compromising position.
And record your screen,
Yes. And then they would go to your friends and family and
yeah, exactly. It's again super clever, but what are you doing? Come on, get your VM, get your VM going. Don't do it on your work laptop.
These issues. Just come talk to us in person.
Personally, I've never looked at pornography,
but I no clue what you're talking.
Not sure what this means, but it sounds bad. Yeah.
With a twist. And my point is, it just feels like early 2000s people had camera shaders over, right? Like, a piece of tape, like, just don't use it.
It's still a popular giveaway at conferences, the little slider that I used to have, but it's a new laptop, so who knows? I expect the extortion to start coming in hard and fast. All right.
I think we're on the last
one. On that bombshell.
Is this it? This is the end of the craziness. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Troy Hunt, absolute legend, creator and curator of the Have I Been Pwned website. If you have not been to Have I Been Pwned, better live in ignorance. Just don't go there. Or I went there and looked at my Yahoo. Yes, I used to have a Yahoo email. Yeah. I was like, I probably had a Yahoo. I went in there. And I'm like, it's all over the place. I'm like, okay, I don't use it anymore. I'm super happy with that. But go check out your history and where your details are, because the whole, again, password thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you recognize any site anywhere and you come up on that website and you're there, like, oh, okay, you are a problem. You're part of the problem. But speaking of part of the problem, court injunctions against hackers. Let's just bring this straight up on the screen. A court injunction that prohibited Russian crime gang that hacked the law firm and attempted to extort them from publishing the data on the internet. Okay, you create a court injunction. You had a good comment on this when it first came out. It was like as it being a tick box exercise.
Yeah, there's been multiple scenarios. I mean, I think, what was it? The SEC went after governments, and they said, okay, you have to report things within a 4-day and has to be disclosure so that people can invest and figure out their investment strategy based on a hack. It's like there's all of these rules that are glossing around the point of forcing companies to actually adopt safe cybersecurity practices. Yeah. Force that first, but do we really need the SEC to come and do investigations on disclosure attempts for 4 days? No, I think that's beyond the purview. And also, the only people who are going to be impacted, the craziest thing is watching CrowdStrike or other security vendors fail. Stock drops $100, and then it goes right back up in 4 months. It's like
hype cycle.
Yeah, okay, I understand if you have a bunch of calls on CrowdStrike, if it drops like that, you're going to be impact it. But it seems like people are trying to force the security changes through these regulations that don't really have an impact. Right?
No.
It's like you need to go after the actual core issue and not offer up thoughts and prayers. Right?
Thoughts and prayers. Well, I mean, the part of the injunction, the reason Troy Hunt was all up in arms is because it actually impacts his site.
Yeah.
Because he harbors the released data sets for the power of good, so that you can find out if you're in the data set. And in a blanket injunction, that means he holds data about breaches. And by going and searching on your own password, that is in a way, confirming data breach data, releasing data breach data, even though you asked for it and you're the one who benefits from it as the person who potentially was hacked. It still applies to him. And he's like, this is stupid.
Yeah. We talked about this in 2024, I think. There was a person in the UK that reported vulnerabilities in one of the school systems, I believe.
Right. Yeah, right.
And then they went after him.
Yeah, right.
For figuring it out, right? Or the other one was the Oklahoma government, I think, published a bunch of credentials in their HTML.
Yeah, right.
And then somebody just pulled up and looked and said hey, your credentials are here. And then they went after him too.
Right? Oh, you hacked our system. And I'm like, no, you were stupid. And I went, look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me, some of the lengths that we go to fake we're being secure.
Yeah, it's theater.
It's really all theater.
Yeah, that's nonsense. Hence, that's ending on theatrics. A great final article for us, but I'll start with you. We want what's going to happen in 2026? What's the biggest WTF or legitimate prediction? Maybe one of each of you have it. I don't know. All my predictions are WTF. So, what do you got?
Oh, I got two predictions. I think one, social media. I think you're going to start seeing signature-based videos get posted on social media. So the account and the video has to be located to the person. I think you're going to start seeing accounts that pop up. If a video randomly pops up and they can't actually authenticate it to a real person, they're going to get throttled. You're going to see a lot of that, to get rid of some of the AI slop that's coming in. And I think it's partially because the EU and other governments want, especially with elections, they don't want, somebody to impersonate them on social media or use an AI video of them saying something. And so I think you're going to see any AI video that has a politician or something like that immediately gets throttled. It's going to have to be based off of the video that comes out. I think that's one. I think the second thing you're going to see is because of some of the information about phishing attempts, and because we have a very large boomer population, I think you're going to start to see crackdowns on banks, specifically on the amount of money that's moved and the authentication needed to move the money.
I'm into that.
Even though banks don't necessarily care if you send the money to somebody who's impersonating your daughter or son or something like that, I think that it's going to come up to the politicians enough that they're going to have to crack down on this. And I know even in high school, some of the AI slop that's coming out is causing an issue with impersonation. People are taking photos and generating, let's say, very illicit material of people. So I think that you're going to start to see the government swing towards cracking down on the generated content, especially if it's in somebody else's likeness, or they're using it to go after phishing attempts and stuff like that. The government's going to start actually bringing in regulation around that. They've been very hands-off AI, and they're okay, AI is going to grow. But the actual usage of AI, I think you're going to see a big swing from the governments in the coming years. Okay,
all right. I have an honorable mention, similar to yours. You talked about almost like deepfake. With the recent releases of some of the social media platforms that are entirely and encouraged. Is it Sora? What's the one?
Yeah,
Sora, which is hilarious. But you actually volunteer. This is I thought things like Facebook and Instagram were stupid because you volunteer your information into the platform. And it's so damaging. Now you volunteer your identity into these platforms to be pasted into scenarios you have no control over by people you don't know. A, that's seriously problematic, but B, actually could be a solid nail in the coffin for traditional social media like Instagram, because that will become more interesting than TikTok. Maybe. That's an honorable mention. That's not even the thing I was going to say.
Yeah. What if the government comes in and says any likeness that's used by an AI platform has to be paid to the actual creator?
But you give permission.
I know, but they're going to say
Sam
that
Altman gave permission already.
There's going to be like a lawsuit that says like people don't really understand the impact of giving the permission.
No, they don't. They don't.
Because
All right.
the traditional media is I give you permission, and then you know, I'm in a movie or I'm in a modeling thing, but you can only use it within the specified.
That's how it should be.
A million versions of me doing random things.
There's a whole Black Mirror about this.
Correct. Yeah, I think that part is definitely going to be looked into.
Okay, for sure. We'll call that our mutual third place.
Thanks.
Mine is identity. I think what needs to happen in 2026, and we're moving towards it, is more structured non-human identity to the point where we take it as seriously as employees. Like you almost hire an agent. Right now, in organizations, people have the ability via Claude Code or Microsoft Copilot or you name it, to spin up 50 plus. Like there was a study released recently, and I can't remember who it was, and I would love to give them credit, but saying that agent identities to human identities in a modern high-tech cloud-based organization is 80-1 of things that have permissions and privilege that execute actions on behalf of users, and the default is to copy that user's capability. And that's crazy. So like the positive about it is I hope we are going to get on that, because we have to treat them like employees. It's weird. It's almost like an HR for AI needs to happen. That is a positive hope. By the
way, sorry to interrupt. It was very big at KubeCon North America.
Oh, was it?
Identity was a huge topic.
Okay.
It was like a few of the Anjali and I'm blanking on the other presenter had a talk, and it was like their one of the fourth talks in the keynote, specifically about identity. Because now you also have platforms where you're running VMs, containers, and AI applications all in the same environment.
Yeah.
How do you authenticate everything? Right?
Yeah, I mean, at least we were doing we had service accounts and we were authenticating with that. Yeah. But now you've got something that can reason and make changes based on its API access. No, it's a crazy world we need to do. There's a great white paper on the back of that. If you search for a white paper, ArcSiv, and you search Nanda, Nanda, it's not like a common word, so you should be able to find it, which is a whole framework for this that, fingers crossed, people enjoy. I like it. The dystopian number one for me is there will be something way more serious than Replit. Like somebody somewhere is going to get their ass handed to them on a plate thanks to AI, and that is what's going to be, if not this year, next year, the catalyst that makes all the things we said before, like identity and privilege.
It's the adoption curve, right? We saw this in Kubernetes in the beginning in 2016, and then security became the focus 2017, 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's like, okay, we've done enough to realize our use cases. Now how do we operationalize it and secure it?
Yeah. Right? Yeah, but I think we're in a whole new world there. Like we're not moving Kubernetes and containers and cloud adoption. Whatever happened in the first 3 years of that, like 2017 to 2020, we're going to do next year.
It's going to be quick.
Yeah, and the disasters are going to happen fast, and the fixes are not going to happen as fast, because that's going to need, unfortunately, humans.
Yeah, and we did report. By the way, another good point was the adoption of Linux. Will this be the year that Linux comes back?
I'm into it.
We were talking about how many people got upset at the new Windows release, and it's like, okay, it's getting to the point where you only need some function, like specific functionality for your day-to-day use cases. I don't need AI to touch every single application on my Windows desktop, right?
Okay. Show me on the doll where AI touches.
Although it is funny though. I feel like every year we're reporting Linux update, Linux increase, and then it just doesn't.
And then it falls flat. But yeah, I mean, all right. Any other comments before we sign off? Enjoy this Christmas tree and this celebratory nog.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. We'll be back in the new year, maybe with Wired 2.0, maybe the same people.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
More special
events. Thanks for everybody for watching for a full year. That's been 30 episodes since we moved to Wired.
Yeah, we were doing seasons for a bit, and then we lost track of ourselves. But we're going to come back with another season in 2026. Thanks to bad security all around and the increase of AI, we will be going for the foreseeable future. All the links are down below. Like, subscribe, tell your friends.
Yeah, he's Steve, I'm Mike. We'll see you in 2026.